Hey guys, Kevin Yates here, and a lot of you lately have been asking me questions about assessing and which exercises to do and how to put together corrective exercise programs for your clients. So, I went through that same frustration years ago when I first started training clients, and I know, man, it's really frustrating because there's not a lot of information out there that will help you do this. So what I wanted to do is I want to share with you the method that I've created. It's a 3-step process that I use, and it'll help you develop really effective corrective exercise programs for your clients. So that's what I'm going to share with you today. I call it my 3A model to developing corrective exercise programs. So the first thing we want to do is this guy right here, assessment. And it sounds basic. I mean, it doesn't sound like rocket science, right? But the key with it when I talk about assessment is digging deeper, and that means we got to get beyond the traditional, cardiovascular fitness testing, the trunk curl up tests, and the sit and reach test for flexibility. I mean, those may work okay for apparently healthy clients, but when we're developing corrective exercise programs, we've got to get the whole story about our clients. We've got to get to the root cause of what is going on that's causing their aches and pains. And the only way we do that, or we can do that, is by getting specific assessments. Now, here's an interesting story. I had, years ago, worked with a studio owner, and I'll never forget it. He used to poke fun at me a lot because I was very specific, and I had a whole assessment process and thing that I went through with every new client, and he kind of thought it was funny, and anyway, we had a client, and she was getting ready to go on a summer vacation. She wanted to lose 10 pounds so she could look better in her bikini. But her problem was that she had a lot of low back pain, and she couldn't do a lot of movements. She couldn't squat, she couldn't lunge, she couldn't do things where she was bent forward, bent over, rowing and things like that. She had trouble doing standing movements. So there was a lot of limitations that she had. And I never forget it because the owner, he liked to get people like working out right away. So he really didn't go through an assessment process. So he was training this client one day, and I walk into the studio, and I never forget it. She's screaming in the back of the room, oh, this hurts. Is this supposed to hurt my back like this? So I'm like, tripping out. So I want to see what's going on. So I go to the back into the room, and I kind of, peek in, like fly on the wall and watching. And I never forget, he's got her on the floor on her stomach doing Supermans, where she's laying with her arms out and her legs out and lifting her both arms and both legs at the same time. So, it was interesting because, he's smiling going, yeah, it's supposed to hurt like that because your low back's weak. You need this, right? And, I remember I had done an assessment on her. And my initial assessment, what I discovered was that her lower back, actually, it wasn't that her lower back was weak. The problem was that she had hip weakness. Her hip extensors were really weak, and they weren't functioning properly when she was, bending down, standing up, and moving around. So her lower back was overcompensating and taking all the stress. So case in point, with an assessment process, he could have uncovered this, and avoided what happened, because he was giving her the exercises that were the absolute last thing in the world she should have been doing. He was giving her exercises that were hurting her and making her problem worse, reinforcing her existing compensation strategies. So what happened? We lost her because her back was hurt, and she went to a physical therapist, and so that was that. But anyway, case in point, assess. That's the first thing. We've got to have the whole story of the client. So that leads us to number 2. You can see, activate. All right, so activate, what does it mean? After we go through an assessment, then what we've got from the assessment is we've identified some of the problems that are going on with our client. We know where the weak links are, what the specific areas of focus need to be. So what we want to do is we want to activate the muscles in that area that haven't been doing their job. So what we need to do in this point is it's really isolating these particular muscles and teaching our clients how to activate them. And it's a big difference when we teach them how to make these muscles work rather than just giving exercises and saying, okay, do this exercise. Do this exercise in this position. Move your arms like this, or put your feet like that, or whatever the case may be. But it's actually teaching them to use those muscles. Because our clients can do exercises that you show them, but it doesn't always mean that they're really activating the right muscles. They could be doing these exercises, but reinforcing the muscles that are overcompensating already. So the ones that need the work, that we need to focus on, aren't getting the work. All right? So hopefully that makes sense. All right, next one, last one. After we get assessed, get our information, we activate those particular areas of focus we need. The final thing we do is apply. So, apply, what it means now is they've got the basics down. They know how to activate the weak links. So now we want to apply those muscles into movement patterns, into exercises. We want to get them, moving more dynamically and doing things and testing it out. All right? So those are the three things that we need to do. Once we get the application process down, then sky's the limit, right? Then your clients are, they should be feeling a lot better. They should have a lot less symptoms, or if their symptoms haven't completely gone away, they should be significantly less, way more manageable, and they should be able to really do a lot more with their exercise programs, all right? So that is the 3A model to developing corrective exercise programs for your clients. So I'd love to hear about you using this 3A model, and let me know how it works for you. And so there it is. All right, the 3A model. So get to it, get started, start using it, and I'll talk to you next time.